Hi there, hello. So this is another update. Did I cut off all my hair in a manic panic during? No, it's still there. I am just going to do another video about Buspar. I am on, let's see, I'm on my fourth week for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 weeks, 3 weeks and 4 days. So I'm on my fourth week of Buspar. It has been just highs and lows and really confusing to say the least. But I think overall has been a net positive. So that's nice. So last video that I did, I was on my third week and it was really maybe the worst week of them all. I felt more anxious. I felt like I had no personality. I felt kind of like a zombie. Like, you know, Buspar is not an SSRI like a lot of other SSRIs. I mean, it's not an SSRI at all. It's its own category of, it's just specifically an anti-anxiety or an anxiolytic. So it acts a little bit different than your standard SSRI, which are also used for anxiety, but also depression. But oftentimes when people take SSRIs, they'll have things where they're like, I feel like I can't cry or have no emotions or have no personality, I'm a zombie. And weirdly enough for me, on my third week, I felt that. I really felt, I went to hang out with some friends and I felt like I was just there. Like I had nothing to offer them. I sort of like I was a shell of my former self in that I felt like on the surface I was kind of like just acting like how I normally act, but internally it was just like powers off, complete personality blackout. And I had no verve. I had no life in me. And it was really kind of shitty and I felt pretty depressed about the whole thing. And I didn't know what that meant and if that was going to be forever. And perhaps I might relapse into that, who knows. On my third week, I did have a moment though where I just was anxious. If you have anxiety, you understand what it is to just be anxious all the time. So I had this just background anxiety all day, every day for a couple days that week, my third week. But then I also had this moment where I just sat. I was in a public place, at a mall actually, and I just kind of sat quietly, and I didn't feel the usual kind of doom and gloom that I usually feel. It could be a day off. It can be a day where I work. There's always a sense of just impending doom that I feel with how my anxiety manifests. I just learned to just kind of deal with it or whatever. Try to shut my brain off, my emotions off, so I can just kind of exist, even though I have that sense of this sort of ominous cloud hanging over me. If I'm at work, or if I have a day where I work, that ominous cloud is work. So I go, oh, how much longer do I have to go to work? And that's just like debilitating and paralyzing to have that over my head. If I'm not at work, it's like, oh my God, tomorrow I have to go to work. And so the impending doom of work later that week, hangs over my head. There's no reprieve. There's always anxiety. But my third week, even though I was just anxious for all day, there was one moment in the day where I just was able to sit and I felt calm. So it was weird. It was just like a little oasis in the day. So and I was speaking to my psychiatrist that third week and I was like, you know what? I'm considering going off of this. I'm also considering trying another drug. But I know it takes like 2 to 4 weeks sometimes to reach clinical levels where it's actually helpful. So I'm going to muscle this out because it is so unpleasant, but I'm going to muscle this out to the end of the fourth week. And, or I guess the beginning of the fourth week. And I did. And let me tell you, almost to the day when my fourth week started, I felt much better. Again, could be some weird placebo thing, could be some sort of, something in my mind where I knew subconsciously or that the fourth week, that marker for that day specifically, something might change or might be different. But whatever the case was, I woke up that morning. It was a Monday, the beginning of my fourth week, and I had a pretty good day. I felt my anxiety had dissipated. I was able to interact in a social way that was relaxed and coherent and nice, and so that was really nice. So I'm gonna stick with the Buspar. Now I'm at 10 milligrams, and 5 in the morning, 5 at 5 p.m. with food, and so far so good. And I'm also considering I picked up a prescription for Wellbutrin, because I found that the Buspar wasn't doing anything for my depression or my anhedonia. I have to say, now that I'm going into my 4th week of the Buspar, I do feel a little bit of a boost, and I feel a little bit like my mood has gotten a little bit better. I'm also just doing a lot of self-care, exercising, trying to eat right, all these things that I've always done. So yeah, feeling better about that. So my next move, I think potentially starting tomorrow, I'm gonna try my Wellbutrin. Hopefully this is like the missing piece of the puzzle, and then my life will just feel like it's back on track, and I'll have the energy and everything to do the things that I need to do. Hopefully I won't go just like totally manic and be an insomniac and just not sleep for a week and then go batshit crazy and have full-blown psychosis. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but we'll see. But I am actually kind of excited about it. It is low dose and it's extended release, so we'll see what happens. Last thing I'll say is starting the Buspar, on top of me going through taking new medication, I also was undergoing a lot of personal stress, coming out of school, the holidays, and also like relationship stuff. And that was really heavy and stressful. And so it was hard to know if it was my personal stuff or it was the medication that was sort of making me down, getting me down. Undoubtedly, the personal stuff was definitely taking its toll on my mood. But, I kind of know how I react in these things. And so I could sort of discern that some of it was the personal stuff, some of it was the medication. But anyways, now more time through the interpersonal stuff has passed. Now more time has passed, and I feel better about that whole situation. So I think, on the whole, moving forward, getting better. So it'd be nice. It's gonna see this Wellbutrin's be the next move, and then hopefully it'll do something for my overall mood and my motivation, and so we'll see. But Buspar journey, doing well, thankfully. Knock on wood.